Well, let's look at this, okay? Discrimination based on gender identity is not just morally indefensible. It blatantly violates the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. Every student, regardless of their gender identity, deserves the same rights, protections, and opportunities under the law. Excluding transgender students from sports teams that align with their gender identity is a direct assault on their constitutional rights. Moreover, speaking about Title IX, explicitly prohibits discrimination based on sex, including gender identity, in any educational program receiving federal funds. Any exclusion of transgender students is a violation of these protections, putting the state at legal risk. Let's look at this. We should be discussing the Constitution in the Georgia State Capitol, not competition. That question is the hands about fairness. Fairness that transcends the playing field and speaks to the core of who we are as a nation. Transgender students, like all students, join sports teams to grow, learn, and be part of a community. Denying them from this experience based on baseless assumptions about physiological differences serves no legitimate state interest. Courts across the country have consistently ruled that these exclusionary policies are not only unlawful, but also discriminatory. If fairness in sports is truly the goal, then the conversation should be about ensuring equal resources and opportunities for all athletes, not singling out transgender students. Targeting these students isn't just wrong, it's unconstitutional. Mr. Chairman, I don't know, you probably have a lot of people to speak, so I can either take questions or I would like for others to have that opportunity because I know you're running up on time.
Yeah, you are kind for that. There's 5 people left. I do have 1 or 2 questions for you. You said that Title IX protects gender identity. Isn't that being adjudicated in the courts right now? That the Biden administration had done an order, or I believe it was actually under rulemaking to include gender identity, but the Title IX currently is silent on gender identity.
Well,
under the text of Title IX itself.
Well, this specific text, but the interpretation goes through the executive, so it's under President Biden's purview to actually interpret it.
The interpretation of the law goes to the executive committee?
Well,
the executive branch of government?
To execute the laws of the land. That's correct. Passed by Congress, yes.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, we're on the same page there, yes.
Well, not on interpretation or not, because the interpretation, I believe we would all agree, is the judicial to ensure constitutionality.
Correct.
So I think that is a key hinge question here, right? Because we do have Title IX, and Title IX did what we all discussed that Title IX does. And the question that is part and parcel to this is what is the role of gender identity under Title IX? And I just wanted to make sure that we clarify the record that currently the courts have placed an injunction on that order, and that while you may assert that gender identity is covered under Title IX, there are certainly legal people that would, there are lawyers and experts that would assert otherwise. The country is divided on this question, right? You said that, the other thing that you said was that something that I try to write down exactly what you said, the baseless assumptions of physiological differences or biological differences. I'm not sure which exact word you used there, but you referenced baseless assumptions. Is it your position that there are not physiological differences between men and women?
I believe there's physiological difference between all of us. We're all unique in our nature within ourselves.
And there are not immutable characteristics among men and women, whether it's chromosomes or hormone levels, that you believe clearly define the differences between men and women.
Mr. Chairman, I see where you're going, and I'm
just asking your opinion. I'm not going anywhere.
Well, I want you to read through my statement. Due to pending litigation and possible future litigation by the ACLU, I really don't want to answer that question at this time.
Okay.
But I will supplement towards this committee.
Okay, I appreciate that. I do appreciate you being here today.
Hey, thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, committee.
Senator Chairman Tillery's got a question for you.
Thank you, Mr. Bruce. Your comments made me think of something. I'm kind of wondering if the ACLU has a bright line rule that they would use then on this question. So it seems like the old bright line rule used to be, for lack of a better term, I guess chromosomes, right? If it was XY, it was male. If it was XX, it's female. What is the bright line rule now? Is it identity or what? I'm just asking what it is.
Right. And I will supplement with the proper briefs that we've already submitted to other courts towards there. Everything's in a unique situation. I'm not trying to dodge the question. I'm just trying to make sure that the ACLU standard is correctly portrayed on the record.
Can you follow up in your brief if you haven't done that in the court already? Because my next question would be, if it's identity, can identity then flip back, or once identity is established, is it final? I'm just trying to gather that, see if you haven't briefed that already. if you'd
Yeah,
let me
I
know.
haven't heard of that one. So yeah, let me look into that. as
You
well.
understand the question?
Yes,
Okay,
Mr. Chairman. And if not, I'll contact your office.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Christopher.